Hey guys, welcome to Jaxbeautifulyou. Today's video, we are going to be testing out some new fragrances. I'm going to be sharing with you my personal opinions, my honest thoughts on these fragrances, and I'm going to let you know whether or not I feel they are full bottle worthy, whether or not I'm going to bring them into my collection and spend my hard-earned money on these fragrances, or if they are going to be a pass. I do have a few fragrances in here that I thought for sure were going to be loves for me, and they did not work out. So I'm excited to share my thoughts and opinions with you on these fragrances today. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. Thank you so much for clicking on my thumbnail today. I truly appreciate you. And to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate all of your support. All right, if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on these fragrances, then just keep on watching. All right, you guys, it is time. It is time for the spooky season. I'm super excited. I love this time of year. I absolutely love Halloween. Is it October? No, it's not October. Do I care? No, I don't care. I'm just excited. I'm ready. I'm in my spooky movies, pumpkin spice latte vibe. I am super excited for Halloween this year, you guys. I am gonna be the nun for Halloween, and I'll probably do a video on it. I'll probably film me becoming Valak the nun. I like to do special effects looks every once in a while as well. My husband and I have already started watching scary movies. We're actually watching the entire Conjuring universe, starting in chronological order, not the order they were released, but the order of the series of events of the movies. So we're watching The Nun, Annabelle, The Conjuring, all of that together in chronological order, and it's been super fun. So let me know in the comment section if you're a huge fan of Halloween. I would love to know. Okay, but let's get to the fragrances. All right, up first we have the new release by Chanel. This is Chance Oh Fresh, the Eau de Parfum concentration. Now, the Eau de Toilette has been out for quite some time, and it is one of my favorite fragrances, especially in the summertime. It is a highly complimented fragrance for me, and I love the Eau de Toilette. I feel like it's a freshie for people who don't like freshies. It's got that citrusy vibe, but it also has a lot of woodiness to it as well. It's a very unisex fragrance. It's a highly complimented fragrance, and I truly enjoy that one. So when I heard they were coming out with the Eau de Parfum, I was very excited, and I got to test it out, and I have to say I absolutely loved it. Now, it does smell pretty similar to the Eau de Toilette, but the Eau de Parfum is deeper, it's richer, it's definitely got more amber. It's a lot warmer, whereas I found the Eau de Toilette to be kind of that crisp, citrusy, I mean, like the Eau de Parfum still has that citrusy vibe, but the Eau de Toilette is more crisp, I would say, whereas the Eau de Parfum is a lot more warm with a lot of amber in the base. So it is beautiful. I absolutely loved it. I knew I wanted to have a bottle of it. I actually slightly prefer the Eau de Parfum. I tried them side by side, the Eau de Toilette and the Eau de Parfum. And as usual, I usually prefer Eau de Parfums over Eau de Toilettes, and that was the case here as well. This one just seems warmer, richer, deeper. I can't really tell you about the performance, but I don't struggle with the performance of the Eau de Toilette. For an EDT, Oh Fresh is actually pretty good on me. It lasts for a majority of my day, and like I said, it's one of my most complimented fragrances in the summertime. So I wasn't really looking for something that performed better, but I'm guessing since it's an EDP, it will perform better than the EDT, if that makes sense. So yes, I do plan on picking up the Eau de Parfum. I'd say if you're a fan of the EDT, definitely get your nose on the EDP. I'm gonna wait until the Sephora VIB sale, and I'll pick it up then at a 20% discount. The Sephora VIB sale is coming up in November, so I can wait. I can wait for it, but I do plan on picking that one up. I think it's beautiful. All right, up next we have a fragrance by Room 1015. This one is Sonic Flower. I was super curious about this one because I have been getting into iris a lot lately. I really love iris these days, and I thought this was gonna be a shoo-in. However, this one is pretty. It's pretty. I can see why a lot of people like it, and I can see why there are people who are gravitating towards it, especially if you're a true iris fan. It is a beautiful fragrance, but for me, I need something with a little bit more sweetness to it. This was dry and it just wasn't sweet at all. And so it was very true to Iris. It definitely smelled like a very sophisticated and upscale Iris fragrance. I think the quality is good, but it just wasn't to my personal taste. It was too dry and not sweet enough for me. When I have Iris fragrances, I do need something to kind of offset it, because it can almost turn a little bitter to my nose if there's not some sweetness mixed in. I would say if you're a true Iris lover and you're not really into sweet perfumes, you might want to give it a try, because it might be for you, but it just didn't work out for me and my personal taste. All right, I've been trying a lot of fragrances by the house of Amouage lately, and I found that they are a house that is either hit or miss for me. I have several that I enjoy from the house, but I also have several I don't enjoy from the house. They're just not a safe house for me. I really need to try them first, and I'm really glad that I tried this one, because I almost blind bought it. This is Material, and I thought for sure I was going to love this fragrance, because this is a very warm, spicy, ambery vanilla fragrance, and I love that. That's usually the type of scent profile I absolutely adore, but there's one note in this fragrance that completely ruined the fragrance for me, and that is Almay. And as soon as I saw that in here, I was like, well, I don't know. There's also oud in here as well, so I didn't really care for the oud in here either. Oud is very hit and miss for me as well. Oud has to be done a very specific way for me to enjoy it, which, by the way, I do plan on getting the new Kayali fragrances from the Oudgasm collection, but I'm nervous because, yeah, I'll just let you know. I mean, they might not be for me. They're probably not going to be for me just because I'm not the biggest oud lover, but I am curious about them. But anyway, back to this fragrance. So we have Almay and Patchouli in the top, which I thought was interesting that Patchouli was in the very top of this fragrance. I love Patchouli, and the Patchouli in here was nice, but the oud and the Almay just didn't work out for me. Almay is a note that I have found in several perfumes that don't work for me, and I am pretty sure that's the note that I struggle with the most. So Almay is a fresh, spicy, piney, balsamic smell with a citrus facet. And Almay comes off very much to me, to my nose and on my skin, as like pine needles. And that's what I got in Material. I think Material is definitely one to get your nose on though. It's a very unique fragrance. It's not your typical ambery vanilla by any stretch of the imagination. It's definitely unique. It's worth getting your nose on, but it's not a safe blind buy. It is definitely not going to be for everyone, and it wasn't for me. I have to tell you guys up front that most of these are passes for me today. I'm not trying to be negative, but I wanted to be honest with you guys about how I feel about these fragrances. I like to test them out. I mean, these are all ones that have been on my wish list, ones that I was super curious about, and I tested them and found they weren't for me, which is great for my wallet, right? But yeah, today is a video of mostly passes. I think there's only one in here that I added to my wish list, but anyway, or that I kept on my wish list, I should say. I tried the new fragrance from AKRO, and that is Rise. Now, talk about a fragrance I thought was a shoo-in for me. This is a pineapple fragrance. I absolutely love pineapple in my fragrances. I love pineapple to eat. I love pineapple on my pizza. I know that's like blasphemous for some people. Let me know in the comment section if you like pineapple on your pizza, but I love pineapple in my perfumes. I mean, the notes look amazing, you guys. This should have been an absolute 100% knock it out of the park for me. This is pina colada, pineapple, coconut water in the opening. I mean, come on. Then there's toffee, which I love toffee in fragrances, tiare flower, frangipani. I'm usually a huge fan of tropical florals. And then there's ambroxan and sandalwood. Every single note in here I love. So I'm not sure what went wrong, but when I sprayed this on my skin, it doesn't smell good. Now on paper, this smells amazing. So it's got to be a skin chemistry thing, because on paper this smells really, really good. But I think what happens on my skin is that the tiare flower comes through really strongly, and it's too much. It's over the top. It overpowers everything else in the fragrance for me. And the combination of the pina colada and the coconut water and then strong, strong tiare flower, usually that combination mixes, you know, the tropical florals with tropical fruits usually mix mixed together, but somehow in this composition it does not work. It's just got to be the way it's put together and my skin. I'm going to put it on my skin and refresh my memory. Yeah, as soon as I put it on my skin, it's like tiare flower to the max. That is a bummer. Oh, it does not smell good on me, you guys. It does not smell good on me. So honestly, I think this is one of those situations where it's a skin chemistry thing. I don't think the perfume itself is bad. Let me know in the comment section if you've tried this fragrance. I want to know from you, do you love this? Rise by AKRO is unfortunately a no for me. Okay, this next fragrance is one that has been around for a very long time, but it has been super hyped. I tried this when I first started getting into fragrances. I had a sample and I absolutely hated it. Recently, not too long ago, I went to a Saks Fifth Avenue and I tested this fragrance again. This is by MFK and this is Gran Soir. And I just thought for sure I wasn't going to like it at all because the last time I tried it, it was super masculine leaning to me and I just thought it was too much, too ambery for me. Decided to retry it, sprayed it on the back of my hand and I was like, whoa, this doesn't even smell like the same perfume that I remember trying, which noses change, you know, that's pretty typical. But talk about an ambery vanilla fragrance. This is the ambery vanilla king or queen of the ambery vanillas. It's absolutely beautiful. And I will say that when it was first sprayed on my hand, it did lean masculine at first. But when I let it warm up on my skin, I felt like it went a little out of that masculine territory and went more into the unisex. I felt comfortable wearing it. Usually if a fragrance is too masculine leaning to my nose, I don't like that. But unisex, like down the middle fragrance, I'm pretty comfortable wearing. This whole time I've been thinking I don't like Gran Soir, but I do. I absolutely love it. I think it's a gorgeous fragrance. It has amber, vanilla, it has some benzoin, tonka bean, labdanum, and some lavender in the fragrance. I definitely pick up on the amber, the vanilla. I definitely pick up on some of like a resinous vibe, I think from the benzoin and some tonka bean. So I think it's a beautiful fragrance, and even though the notes kind of sound simple and straightforward, I did feel like it was a pretty unique fragrance. So it was beautiful. So Gran Soir by MFK has now been added to my wish list. All right, up next we have the new release by the House of Guerlain. This is Tobacco Honey. I have a sample here thanks to the lovely Sharita, and thank you, girl, for sending this to me because you saved me $380. I was pretty much convinced I was gonna love this because I absolutely love tobacco and I love honey. So Tobacco Honey, I thought, yes, I'm gonna love it, and I really was like psyching myself up to get a bottle of it. Thankfully, she sent me this sample because I was scared of the cloves. Now, I like cloves sometimes in fragrances, but I have a specific clove tolerance. I can only take so much and then I don't like it. It starts to smell sour. They start to smell almost like cough medicine somehow. I don't know. Cloves and me, we don't always get along. I can handle it in certain concentrations, and I was afraid that the cloves would be too much. People were saying that this smells like Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford, and that is one of the fragrances that I cannot stand the most. I cannot stand Tobacco Vanille. The cloves are too overpowering for me. Now, I will say this fragrance is not bad in any way. I actually like it. This is a like for me, but it's not a strong enough love for me to spend $380. So I'm glad I didn't blind buy it. Although if I had, I don't know that I would have been like super devastated because like I said, this is a like for me, but not a love. Thankfully, the cloves are nowhere near the intensity of Tobacco Vanille. They're in here, but it's a lot more toned down and well blended. I don't know what it is about the cloves and Tobacco Vanille, but it is just too, like, I cannot stand it. They're definitely in here, but like I said, a lot more toned down. This is a honey fragrance. The first thing I get is honey, realistic honey, like raw honey. I really like that part. The tobacco in here kind of feels to me a little wet, like a wet, heavy tobacco, but not smoky. I don't get a smokiness from this fragrance, but the tobacco's pretty strong. This leans pretty masculine. Really, I really feel like this is a masculine leaning scent because that tobacco is just like a thicker, heavier, I almost picture like a wet tobacco. And then there's cloves in here for sure. There is a spiciness, but again, nowhere near the intensity of Tobacco Vanille. Yeah, this is a like. I really do like this one. I do think this is worth getting your nose on. I think this is one that some people are really gonna love, but I do find this to lean more masculine, and for that reason, I just don't love it. It's just not what I was expecting to just love this. You know, I watched one review and somebody said if you love Angel Share, you're gonna love this fragrance, and I was like, oh, well, I love Angel Share. But I don't really agree with that statement. If you like unisex fragrances with a little bit of spice, a lot of honey and tobacco, if you're a big tobacco lover, definitely go ahead and get your nose on this one. I think it's worth checking out. The performance is really good. I actually sprayed this on the back of my hand and like down my arm to test it out, and it was wafting off, and it was lasting. It's a pretty decent performing fragrance from what I can tell from the sample. But anyway, I do think it's worth checking out, but it's not something I'm going to spend $380 on. So unfortunately, Tobacco Honey by Guerlain is a pass. She also sent me this sample of Tonka Imperiale by the House of Guerlain. This is another one that I tested a while back ago and I didn't like it. I like it a lot more now than I did when I first was, I wasn't ready for this fragrance. You know, when you're first getting into fragrances, sometimes you don't know what the hell you're smelling, you know? You're like, what is that? Especially, like, I know this isn't niche, but it is kind of, you know? It's designer, but it's, you know, it's the higher end designer, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I like this. I really like this a lot more. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one, you guys. So this has bitter almond on the top, and then it has rosemary and bergamot. The rosemary, there's also pine in here. So it's tonka bean, tobacco, jasmine, incense, cedar, and pine. The rosemary and pine, it definitely has this very aromatic feel to it, but it's not too intense. And normally when I see pine, I run for the hills. Like rosemary and pine, I'm not, sage, rosemary, pine, those aromatic kind of notes I'm not into really. And this definitely has that pine feel, but I kind of like it. It smells like Christmas. It's definitely very warm, very ambery. This is pretty good. You know, I was prepared to come on here and tell you guys that this was a no for me, but I'm kind of feeling this right now. I don't know if I'm just more into the holiday spirit and I'm kind of getting like holiday vibes from this fragrance. It's nice though. I like this one. Let me know in the comment section if you've tried Tonka Imperiale. What do you think? Do you like it? I like it. It's sweet, it's ambery, it's got some almond, and it does have that aromatic touch, but it's not like the star of the show. It's not so overpowering. I am really liking this. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was going to tell you guys, like I said, that this was a no for me, but now I'm changing my mind. So Tonka Imperiale is one that is a maybe for me. Okay, another one by Amouage that I tested is Blossom Love. I thought I was going to absolutely love this. I love floral fragrances. I love white florals. I love yellow florals. I love rose. I just love florals. So I thought, yeah, Blossom Love. Absolutely. No, this is a no. This is a hard no. Yeah, I don't know what I'm smelling in here that I don't like, but this is a hard no. This is too floral. This is like floral overload. This has heliotrope in the opening, which I normally love. But there's amaretto in here too, and I don't know that that mixes. Like all these florals, there's heliotrope, there's cherry blossom, rose, ylang ylang, and I mean, I should like this fragrance. I usually like amaretto type of fragrances, but in here it just doesn't smell right to me. It smells very powdery, very old-fashioned. That's what it is. It smells extremely mature to my nose. This smells really, really vintage, outdated, old-fashioned. I don't like it. So no, Blossom Love is a no for me. This is another one I almost blind bought because, like I said, when I look at the notes, I mean, it's got vanilla, tonka bean, suede, and amber in the base. I mean, normally those are all pretty safe notes for me. It looked really, really good. I thought for sure I was going to love it, but this is why you have to try. I'm really, really glad that I did not blind buy that one because I don't like it at all. It smells way too mature for me. Okay, recently I just purchased from the House of Kerosene Unknown Pleasures, which I have been loving. It is one of my favorite gourmands in my collection. It made me super curious to try more from Kerosene. I have tried Followed from Kerosene, which I like the way it smells, but I didn't want to smell like it. It smelled like breakfast, like maple syrup and pancakes and coffee. And I really enjoyed the scent, but I didn't enjoy it on me. So I wanted to try Sweetly Known by the House of Kerosene. This is one that I thought, again, that I would love. And it's another one of those situations where I absolutely love the way that it smells. I think it smells amazing, but it just isn't how I personally want to smell. And I couldn't figure out for the longest time as I was testing this fragrance why I felt that way. Like, what is it about this fragrance? Because the scent itself is absolutely gorgeous. It smells like fall in a bottle. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the scent of it, but I couldn't figure out why I wasn't liking it as a perfume. Because this has cardamom, it's got a spiciness to it, it's got caramel, which I absolutely love caramel, and the caramel in here is definitely present and thick, and it smells delicious. There's burnt match, which I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about that. There's sugar, vanilla, cacao, and some musk in this fragrance. It is a very sweet fragrance, and it does smell like, it smells like autumn to me. I think the burnt match is what throws me off on this fragrance, because I realize that this fragrance isn't something that I want to wear because it smells to me like a home goods store. Like when you go into a home goods store and you walk in and it's autumn and you can smell like the potpourri and the candles and all that. You know how they try to make it smell like actual autumn in some of the stores to get you in that mood, you know? That's what it smells like. Yeah, this smells like a home goods store to me. It smells like somebody's burning some really delicious fall candles. Yeah, I think it's the burnt match in here that's giving me serious candle vibes. If I could find this in a candle, I would buy it immediately, because I would love right now for my home to smell like this. So yeah, I think it's absolutely beautiful. Like I said, I love the scent, but I don't want to smell like that personally. I just don't want to smell like a candle. So Sweetly Known, unfortunately for me, is a no. All right, this last one I'm going to talk about was super disappointing. I was so excited for this fragrance. I just felt like I was going to love it. This is by Carner Barcelona, and this is Supermoon. I love the name. I really wanted to love this for the name. Supermoon. It just sounds like, you know, supermoon, like spooky Halloween, right? I love Halloween. I don't know if you can tell. This has notes that I typically love. There's mandarin, there's pomegranate, there's jasmine, there's amber, there is some patchouli, there's musk in this fragrance. Pretty much all the notes that I like in a fragrance are in here, and I thought for sure this was going to be something that I would really love. But, and I will say there's nothing wrong with this fragrance as far as like, it doesn't smell bad. There's nothing off-putting to this fragrance whatsoever. This is a pleasant smelling fragrance that absolutely bores me to tears. Wow, this is so underwhelming, you guys. And I have tried this on skin, not just paper, but I will say this has got to be one of the most disappointing, underwhelming, and boring fragrances I've tried in a while. This doesn't do a thing for me. If you love this fragrance, please don't be offended. Obviously, we are all different. We have different noses. I'm not picking anything up super exciting in here. This is boring. I'm not interested in this fragrance, unfortunately, and I definitely want to hear from you. It smells so light, too. It's just really light, and nothing really stands out. You know, you smell it and you're just like, meh. It's just a meh fragrance all around, in my opinion. Anyway, I do want to hear from you about Supermoon. Have you tried it? What do you think? But I found it to be a yawn fest, and I am not interested in a full bottle. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Those are the fragrances I've been testing, and only the very few that I will be adding into my collection from this list. And of course, I want to hear from you. I definitely want to hear your opinions. If you like this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!